Osita, Nemeka Osita Nwodo. It's a pleasure to have you here. Good afternoon. I can see, Chukwu Kadibia Ude. Oh, I missed that. Chukwu Kadibia Ude. You are welcome, sir. I can see Samuel Okonkwo here too. You are welcome. Good afternoon. Then I can see two users that have their names saved as the Zoom. The Zoom. I know that is not your name. It will be a nice thing if you know your name, just to for attendance sake, to know those that are here with us. We're in the era of AI, and you never can tell whether a robotic has been sent from Mars by Elon Musk, our elder brother, or Mark, the guy from the other side of the Silicon Valley. All right. Oh, Mr. Connell, it's a pleasure, sir. Good afternoon. You're welcome. There are two Zoom, so I would presume it's the first Zoom because I heard that you've been here with us. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome, sir. Um, okay. That's great. That's great. You're welcome, sir. Both. I believe that the second should be your newly lovely wedded wife. Congratulations, by the way, on your wedding ceremony. It's really a pleasure. It's a good thing. And we're hoping that before the year runs out, our hosts, our convener will follow suit. All right. That's on a lighter note. Without wasting much of our time, I believe that people will still come in and will still join us. We are not going to spend more than as it is already. We have my brother just joined all the way from the Asian country, Japan. Um, Sullivan, it's a pleasure to have you here. You are welcome, sir. Then we have Muyesu Josiah. Please pardon me for the pronunciation. Josiah, you are welcome, sir. It's a pleasure. All right, so without wasting much of our time, we're going to start with a word of prayer because I believe that everything we do, we commit it into God's hands for effective navigation. So I wouldn't I won't set up anyone at this point. I'll be the one to lead the opening prayer. But as time goes on, you may be called to handle one or two other activities because it is going to be an interactive session and a promising one. All right, so can we just say a word of prayer? Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for this 2024 that you've given us. We thank you for the reason why we've gathered here, for the product, for the child that you've given to our convener, for what you have bettered through him into this world to add to the body of knowledge, Lord. We ask that as we officially launch this book, Lord, whatever may be the heart desire, the objective, the aim by which this book was written, the target audience that were in mind as it was being written, Lord, we ask that you enable us to be able to reach out to them far and beyond in the name of Jesus. And for everyone that will join us on this platform, Lord, we ask that you make hasten their footsteps, and as we get on with it, we can be able to achieve all we need to achieve in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. So we're going to I will just be flowing as we keep on. This is 10 minutes past 1. So at this juncture, we're going to welcome our host, who is going to give us a welcome address. I believe he has one or two things to say before we kick the ball rolling. So I'll be handing over to our host, Chisimdi Okoh, with his welcome address this afternoon. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Usually, I'm a very shy person, and but today I had to prepare my mind. I was going to talk. It's not going to be in my normal shyness. Um, Thank you very much for all who have been able to attend this very important event, despite all our activities and schedule. You guys freed it up for you to dedicate this 1 hour to this book launch. I want to sincerely welcome all of you. I don't have a long note of welcome address, but I want to appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to tell you that the gift of your time and your attention is highly appreciated. And it's something that I have got to hold to a very high esteem, or you know how busy I know that some of the people who attended this meeting are. Sincerely, I am overwhelmed by your support, by your showing up, by all the things that you guys have been doing behind the scenes, make this work a success. Sincerely, I want to find my voice with the voice of the moderator. Welcome all of you to this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we appreciate him? Just sending your favorite emoji. This is a virtual meeting, so I believe we're still going to make it as interactive and as energetic as possible. Thank you very much, Mr. Connell, for that virtual clap. Others can also follow suit. Just while as he was making the welcome address, more persons joined in the call list. We appreciate you. We have Samsung SM, probably a brand ambassador of the global Samsung phone. You're welcome, sir, Omar. And we have Oji Oninechi Lillian. Lillian, you're welcome. I can see Michael Onyemaechi. I can see Faith Sinachi. I can see some other persons joining the list. It's a pleasure, like I said. We know that many of us are scattered all over the world globally. Some of us, it's in the morning, some is in the night, some is in the midnight. We appreciate your audience, and we know that people will still be coming in, logging in, and just joining us at any point in time. So we are not going to wait for anyone. We just have to keep the ball rolling as it is an ongoing event. So before I talk about the next thing that we'll be looking into, which is the keynote speech, which will be handled by Malga. I forgot to mention my name. My name is Victor James, and I'm your host, not for tonight, but for today. It's an honor to be the one that is anchoring the book launch of this amazing personal financial management book. It's I haven't gone through it. I can tell you for real that it is amazing, and it's fully loaded. But let me not be the one that will let the cat out of the bag. We'll still hear more about it. I'll be calling on the next person that will be handling over as that will give us the keynote speech. It is someone I respect so much. It is someone I've known over the years. We've all learned from. His influence is beyond Enugu, is beyond Nigeria, it's global. It's Let me just give you a brief on who this person is. So it will not be like I'm just hyping. By the time you see the accomplishments, the feats, the accolades that this person has amassed over the years, you just be like, wow. I'm talking of another person than my Oga. I cannot say the name without adding the prefix Oga. Chime Chinonso Simon, aka Ichie Hilux. Ichie Hilux. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Good afternoon. He's an accomplished IT professional with over 9 years of experience providing technical support, training, and consulting services. Interestingly, he studied microbiology from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and he has an MBA from Lentley Business School, UK, and is currently pursuing an MPH from Ahmadu Bello University. So you see, he's someone that is given to learning. His expertise spans from IT desktop to software troubleshooting, database management, and facilitating digital skill training. He started his career in University of Nigeria Enugu campus from 2013 to 2017, where he served as the administrator of the university website. And also, he is an ICT 4D consultant for the Catholic Relief Services Nigeria. He played a key role from 2017 to 2022 in deploying and supporting mobile technology solutions for public health interventions. He's always on the move from each state to another. He currently serves as an ICT 4D officer for the Global Fund Malaria Project at Catholic Relief Services. He is also the founder of Chimes Vinless Technologies and IT Services, currently based in Enugu. He is recognized for his exceptional skills in customer service, data analytics, and providing user support on Google and Microsoft applications. Beyond what is being read, I can tell you that I have personally gained from him, learned from him, I've been truly impacted. He's the guy that if you have any problem, anything, any challenge, just text Ogachimex, and in a jiffy, he will give you the link. He is that resourceful. So, and I believe that we'll be drinking from his words of resourcefulness this afternoon, and he will be the one to handle to give us the keynote speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Chimex. Can you just celebrate, send in your virtual hand clap, Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Victor James. I want people to know that Chisimdi said that he's a shy man. That's very wrong. Very, very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. That guy lied for that place. He's not shy. He's not shy anything. All right. Thank you, James, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Chisimdi is someone I've known for years. In fact, our friendship has grown from friendship to brotherhood. So sometimes I felt that he didn't even need to put me in this seat, but then we have to do what we can do. So good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, uncles and aunties. Thank you for being here. I'm truly honored to be here today as your keynote speaker for the launch of this book, The Power of One. So today we're going to embark on a journey of discovery, empowerment, and transformation as we delve into the profound impact of individual action on our financial destinies. So I want you to imagine for a moment the power to change your financial future with just one decision. One decision, one action, or one step you are going to take. And that is just the essence of the power of one, the ability to each and every one of us to take control of our financial life, starting from where we are with what we have. And I used to tell my friends that for God to bless you, God needs to see your effort. God needs to see what you've done personally. God needs to see the action that you've actually take for him to bless you. And I want to talk about that with a little, just with my little story. When I started my business some years ago, while then in UNN, a lot of us went to UNN on this call. I'm sorry if you didn't go to UNN. I'm sorry, but a lot of us on this call went to UNN. I'm very sorry. I apologize if you did not go to UNN. Apologize. So when we were in UNN, I was faced with decision to either drop out from school or to take hold of my financial future, not to blame my family, not to blame my parents. You know, when a Gen Z would be like, it's my father's right to take care of me, train me in school, and make sure I'm somebody. Those days, your papa don't get, and you don't do anything on your own, you're gone. So we're not like the Gen Zs that just expect you. Even the Gen Zs expect that they don't even owe their parents anything, but their parents owe them to train them in school. That is how the Gen Z is. So talking about the power of one is that decision to say, I'm not going to remain where I am. Is that decision to say, where I am is not going to define me. Starting from where I am with what I have. When I tell people that my business started basically by just photocopying past questions of 10 naira and selling it for 20 naira. That's how some of us started the business, just looking at the past question. This past question is not available to a lot of students. And people don't have time to actually go and photocopy those past questions. And what did I do? I photocopied it for 10 naira, crested my name on it, and put my phone number there and photocopied it and sold it double the amount I photocopied it. That's making double amount. That is how some of us started with just that one decision that this is not going to stop us. Now, that is not going to stop me. Now, one of the challenges we have, Victor, please, when is my time to stop? Let me know so that I can stop immediately because I have just 15 minutes. So one of the problem we are having with our generation now is that we lack financial knowledge. And the truth of the matter is that when you lack financial knowledge, no matter the amount you get, you are going to spend it recklessly. No matter the amount you get, you're going to spend it recklessly. So financial knowledge is one of a skill that everybody should have. And the funny thing about financial knowledge is that they don't teach it in the university. There's no course in the university that says how to manage your finance. No course, even if you're reading business admin. So some people who are reading business or accounting, some of them still don't even know how to manage finance. I used to tell people that if studying business admin should make you the richest person in the world, then professors of business admin should be the richest people in the world. But they are not. People who studied business administration are not the richest in the world. It's still people who did not even study business admin at all. So financial knowledge is something that is very, very important. Do you know what an asset is? Do you know what a liability is? Do you know when you've started spending above your threshold? Do you know if you're spending within your financial capacity? And all this starts with that one decision to take hold of your financial future. And we're in a generation where a lot of young people, let me use young people in particular, don't have any knowledge of financial literacy. So, and that's why when they make money, the first thing they want to do is to go and buy a car, is to go and look for a girlfriend, or to go and leave their parents' house. And that's why I don't believe in those talk that says if you are 25 years, you're still living in your parents' house, you are not serious. It is wrong. Sometimes even living there helps you to cope financial costs. It helps you to even cut financial costs, because that money you're supposed to use and pay for rent, you're using it to now expand on other things or invest in things that will increase your finance. So I don't believe in the school that says that you must leave your parents' house at starting age. If they are not pursuing you, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? What are you claiming? What are you rushing out to do? What are you rushing out to do? For someone like me, I stayed in my parents' house till, in fact, the day I left, I was practically pushed, because I rented a house. My younger brother had to go and live there ahead of me, because I've not gotten the effrontery to leave my parents' house. But then, I don't believe in the school of thought that says you must leave your parents' house at starting age. As a young person, you need that financial literacy. As a young person, do you even know what you get in a month? Do you know what you spend in a month? Do you know when you spend above your means? And anytime you spend above your income, you are gradually progressing into poverty. Anytime you spend above your means, you are gradually, intentionally, professionally, emotionally moving into poverty with confidence. And that's why you need to gauge how you spend. You don't just spend because you need this. And one of the things I used to ask myself before I spend is, this thing I want to buy, do I really need it? Do I need it? If I don't buy it, will I die? Now, can I wait for a while before I can get this? And the young people out there need to discover that most of the things they are craving for in the next 3 to 4 years will be old school. It's going to be old school. Most of the things you're craving for in the next 3 to 4 years will be old school. Let's use BlackBerry for an example. When we were at the university, I've never used a BlackBerry in my life. I never used it. And if someone had told me then that I will not use a BlackBerry in my life, I'll tell the person no. Because what I was hoping for then was one day I'm going to own BlackBerry. So then while we were in school, owning a BlackBerry was the talk of town. Bold 2, Bold 1, all of them, call and all that. At some point, one of the BlackBerry was even sold for 450,000 as of then. But I tell you that today, nobody is talking about BlackBerry again. Because most of the things you actually want, if you can patiently wait, you will see that some of those things, you can even get something that is more than that. And even more, because the world is changing. And that's why nothing should move you. So imagine the people who used their parents for rituals just to buy BlackBerry those days. Where are they today? They have nothing to gain. So I have 5 minutes remaining. So thank you for that reminder. Thank you very much. So for us to have this financial literacy, there is need for us to engage the young people not to make some of the mistakes that we've made. Some people bought car at the wrong time. Some people bought whatever they are using at the wrong time. And these people need to be enlightened. And that is what this book launch is all about, to make sure that the young people out there are financially empowered. But what I'm here to talk about is the need for us to be financially literate. The need for us to be financially literate. The need for us to know that you save before you spend your income. You don't spend before you save. You save. And you don't just save for nothing. You save for a purpose. Either to invest, for emergency, for any reason. But there's every reason to save for emergency. I used to tell people that before you buy something and you cannot afford that thing twice, and it's not a big project, it shows that you can't really afford that thing. If all the money I have in my account is just to buy a phone, and when I buy that phone, I cannot even buy phone casing to cover that phone, or can't replace that phone immediately, that means if anything happens to that phone, that means I can't really afford that phone. So these are some of the principles you can follow to some of the things you want to buy. If you buy, and I think phone is one of the things you should be able to afford twice before you even buy it. So, and the same thing applies to other things that we do. And one of the other things I want to state emphatically on this call is the need for you to keep record of your finance. Keep record of your finance. Keep record of all that you get. Keep record of all that you spend. It helps you to gauge on your financial life. It helps you to gain on your financial life. There are times in my life that when I check what I've spent and what I've gained, you are coming to disturb me, you are wasting your time for money, because I've already exceeded my threshold. I've already exceeded my capacity. And that is the truth. And that's another thing I want to state here before I end is you don't spend to impress people. Cut your coat according to your size. Don't spend to impress people. Spend with what you have. Spend what you have and what you can afford. Don't spend to impress anybody, because at the end, you have to tell yourself that truth about your finance. Nobody else can tell you that truth except you. And that is why you don't need to impress anyone. So, in conclusion, I want to say that you have one decision to make about your finance. One decision. And that power of one means that whatever you have is where you can start from. If it is a skill, start from that skill, sell that skill, that is what you have. Capital is not necessarily money. Any skill you have, anything you have at the moment, whatever talent that God has given you is where you can start from to expand your finance. Even if you're working and you need to expand your finance, you ask yourself, what other skill do I have to actually expand what I'm doing? So I want to encourage all of us today that to take our financial life serious, to take financial literacy serious, to understand that if we can change the mindset of the younger people out there about their finance, that we are growing a better nation, we are growing a better world, because a lot of them out there don't know. And I want you to know that this book we are launching here today will go a long way to improve financial literacy to anybody that reads it out there. We plan to distribute about 2,000 copies of this book free of charge to young people around Nigeria, beyond Enugu, and even Nigeria at large. So anything you have to support this financial literacy today, it can be from your personal status. Always talk about it. That lesson can change the mindset of another person out there. So with this, I want to say thank you for listening to me. Thank you for attending this. Please don't leave. We still have the book review to do. We still have the book launching to do. And no amount is too small to support financial literacy among young people in Nigeria and beyond Nigeria. Thank you very much for your time, and may God bless you. Cheers.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we just appreciate him with our virtual hands? Can we appreciate him with our virtual hands wherever you are? There is no better person that could be talking about personal finance, because This is a man I've worked with closely for more than 7 years now. The last experience, which is still surreal to me, is like I heard that a lot, but this is the first time I'm seeing someone that actually played it out before me. He did his wedding with a budget. As a matter of fact, before he did his wedding, 2 to 3 years before then, he started saving. When he started saving, he told me, Victor, I've started saving for my wedding. He was saving 1,000 naira in a particular fintech app. I'm not here to promote any fintech. He was saving 1,000 naira per day, 1,000 naira per day, saving 1,000 naira per day. 5 months before his wedding, when I came to his house, I saw the bags of rice, I saw the souvenir, I saw a lot of things that have been bought for the wedding. I was like, wow. 2 days before his wedding, money was still coming in hundreds of thousands. I'm telling the truth. But he had a budget. He stuck with that budget. And like I said, he's the first person I have seen physically that did a wedding. And when he came out from the wedding, he had more money given to him more than the budget he had for his wedding. So we're not here to tell you about theories. The people that we have here are people that live the talk. They walk the talk. So I don't think there could have been a better keynote speaker than this. So I appreciate you, my Oga Chimex. Thank you for that exposure on personal financial management. Without further ado, we keep on rolling the stone. And I know you have some suggestions to make, some questions. Please feel free. That's why we have the comment section. You can as well, just to keep your thoughts there as we keep on rolling. Thank you for that keynote speech. We'll be moving on to the next, which is the book project, which is the book review rather. We'll be venturing into the book review. It is not we don't intend to keep you later than 2:15 p.m. So just hang on with us for a while. We're moving on with our book review. And the person that will be handling the book review is no other person than Mr. Samuel Okonkwo. He will be handling the book review in the next 15 minutes to tell us what the book is all about. But who is Mr. Samuel Okonkwo? Some of us may be hearing the name for the first time. He is an HR professional with over 10 years of work experience across various aspects of human resources, ranging from talent management, recruitment, policy formation, to mention but a few. He also has delivered international work experience, having had work stints in Nigeria, South Africa, Norway, and Qatar. He was previously the resourcing lead for Shell in Africa and 38 other franchise countries, cutting across 6 continents. He currently works in Qatar, where he's an HR consultant. Outside of work, Sam is a published author with 3 different books to his credit. He also runs a weekly YouTube channel and is a gold member of Toastmasters International. Toastmasters is a global brand. It's, I can't even imagine the caliber of people we have here in our midst, but it is a privilege to have all of you gathered here this afternoon. So over to you, Mr. Sam, as he handles us on the book review. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Victor. Kind introduction. Right. Good afternoon. I think it is in most places now to everyone. And thanks again for all of you just rallying around Chisimdi on a day like this. It can be a lonely path, but the fact that everyone is here with him celebrating this piece of work has done, I think that sometimes makes it worth it. So thanks to everyone again for staying true to this time. And thank you, Chimex, for the background you laid there. I thought they were very useful things you said. In this climate of Nigerians no green for anybody, it's important that they listen to things like that so that they don't also agree for their own spending, excessive spending. But I'm here to talk about the book and the book that Chisimdi has written. And first, let me say that Chisimdi has joined that very illustrious list of people who would never die again. Because to write a book is to never die again. Because it just means that you become indelible. So those 109 pages of The Power of One would remain long after Chisimdi has gone. That's just the power of book writing. So congratulations, Chisimdi, on that one. And I thought the subject is very important. Look, anywhere you turn to, depression in the UK, let's not even talk about what's going on in Nigeria, in the Middle East, in the US, prices of things is of the chart. So it's an apt subject. So I mean, there's no beating around the bush. Perhaps the most important topical subject in the world today is about finances, is about money, and there's no running away from it. I know sometimes we get easy feet when we talk about finances and money, but look, it is such an important thing. And no matter where you are, the podcast I run with a colleague, I remember in the last episode, I just go on mute, please. I remember the last episode or somebody can mute the person who is currently unmuted, please. The host can do that. I remember the last episode I was saying that where someone was talking about black tax and how black tax is killing is killing her where she is, and I remember us saying as part of the question then that it's just amazing how want and needs follows you everywhere you go to. But that's the reality of it. So again, great book, I have to say. All 109 pages of that book. Written in four chapters. One of the things, if you read the book, when you read the book, of course, and I expect everyone gets the book after now, is the simplicity of language of the book. So what it means is, can somebody just mute Ibekwe Divine? You've muted everyone. All right, I've come back off mute. All right, so the point I was making is that the simplicity of language of this book is one that stands out. Anybody can pick it up. You can be in secondary school, you can be in university, you could be starting out your career, you could be 10 years in your career, you could pick up this book and still find it useful. And that's partly because of the language with which this book was written, but also the very practical tips that this book has. There are many books that talk about finance, trust me, many of them, thousands of them. But the language was simple, but also is the fact that a litmus test for a great book is when the book can leave you with something you can use going forward. Not just the book making you feel good, but something you can use going forward. And I think in many ways, Chisimdi did it with this 4 chapters. In terms of the chapters, if I just speak briefly on each of them and what he has done with each of them. The first one is around the journey of the savings culture, and as the name suggests, a lot of this chapter was spent in talking about savings, why savings is important, how savings should be done. And I like the fact that in this chapter, Chisimdi spent a lot of time talking about what he titled the power of hunger, and how hunger is a driving force. And that's a very powerful point to note, because there's no great thing that's been achieved in life by anyone in any sector, in any industry, that's not been done with a certain level of hunger by that individual or by that person or by that group. So he talked about why it is important for you to channel that hunger into something. So you need to be hungry enough, and I like to think of hunger both literally and figuratively. So you need to be hungry enough in those two senses to really want to change something about your current state. And I think that point was clearly laid there. The concept of savings culture, again, back to my point I made earlier about how Chisimdi made this book one that leaves you with very practical steps, is in talking about savings culture, he then broke it down to say, how do you do this? Set goals, which is almost like the starting point, if you like, in terms of setting goals. A particular point around savings, which he made in this book, is around automating your savings. And I like that point a lot. I do this. I've been doing this for the better part of 10, 11 years of my work life, where as soon as money comes in, I don't even, when the money hits the account, what hits the account from salary or whatever other stream of income is not what goes for savings goes automatically. So I don't even have access to it before it hits the account. And I think that's a very key point I really like in this particular chapter, the fact that it takes away that choice. It takes that choice away from you. And that's a good thing if you want to improve your savings culture. I also like the fact that in this chapter, beyond all of the talk around savings, he was able to make the point that Chisimdi that you need to reward yourself always. And it's not reward in that very casual sense of you only live once, YOLO, beg this life now only one will make I spend. It's not that kind of reward I was talking about. It's more from a place of when you hit milestones, when you make achievements, take out time to genuinely reward. And reward means many things. And how you can do that is in many things. It's not a clarion call to be stupid financially. But I like that point he made in that book, in that chapter. And I also like the point around discipline. Lots of the talk, and Chimex made reference to it. And much of all of the points that Chisimdi made in this particular chapter is on the book as a whole, speaks to the need for discipline financially. And if you're not, it's almost like the base for anything financial, for anything about money. If you are not disciplined, that foundation, in the first place, you cannot even stand financially. So points that he made in that space. The chapter 2 of this book, so when you pick it, it's almost like a journey in terms of how Chisimdi book, how he wrote this book. So first chapter around the journey of savings culture, what you could do, how you could do it. Then it comes into a bit more granular around cut your coat according to your clothes. Cut your coat according to that's the title of the second chapter. And there he made the point around living within your means. This cannot be overemphasized. It is a very, very important point. And the way he elucidated this point in this chapter is one that I thought was really brilliant. The fact that there will always be people ahead of you in life financially, always people that you are ahead of. And it's important that you live within your means. This point around living within your means, without doing this, if you're going to look around in your financial journey and make choices based on what is happening around you, you will always miss it. And that's the point around living within your means. One practical way you could do this, and Chisimdi talked about it in this chapter, is around monitoring your expenditures, having a clear understanding of what you're even spending at. And I remember there are times I've not been good at this in the past. And you know how people say, I just had 10,000, the money just finished. Oh no, the money not just finished. What really happened is that you finished the money. So it's the fact that with everything finance, you need to have a clear monitoring criteria, or how you monitor your expenditures, and you have to track it to the very little things. And if that little thing means that's money you spend in buying gala, and I don't know how much gala costs these days, or buying like Acera, just you need to, that discipline or that monitoring doesn't have to be in the big things only, because sometimes we fall into that trap of just monitoring our expenditures on the big things, which is, oh, I paid rent, oh, I bought this, oh, I paid for school fees. Well, you have to also monitor the small things, because both of them really have a huge factor. The small things cumulatively makes up the big things. That's just the way finances works. So I like that point he made there in the second chapter. He also did talk about the need for budgeting and why budgeting is very, very sacrosanct in your finances. And you need to have budgets. And I like the point I think Chimex said at the beginning, where if he has a budget such that when you come with problem, is the budget your problem has to be situated in that budget. And that's what I tell people, that it doesn't matter if you come to me with a 10 million naira problem, and I actually do this, if I'm being honest. You can come to me with a 10 million problem. If my budget and I have budgets for everything. So I have budget for, this is charity, this is budget for force for good, this is budget for friends, this is budget for family. I want each of them finish Otilo. And I always tell people that if you can come with a 10 million naira problem, if my budgets as it relates to force for good and help, if that budget is 5,000 naira, I will tell you this 5,000 naira. And I won't feel somehow about telling you that. That's the reality. And that's because, they always say sometimes those that take don't have a boundary, so you have to always put boundary around these things. And because you're not an infinite resource, you are a finite resource. So that's why budgeting is important. You would not solve world hunger. That's just the reality. And as my friend will always say, Franklin will always say that you are not anybody's last resort. So you have to also be sure that you don't have the savior complex when it comes to finances and when it comes to helping others. And I think that point was made very well around the budgeting piece that Chisimdi made in this chapter. I like the particular point also where he talked about implementing the 50-30-20 rule. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I was going to say go pick the book to read about it, or maybe I tell you about it. No, you go pick the book and read about it. I was going to tell you about this rule and the way Chisimdi explained it, but I think I'll leave that as a teaser. One other reason why you have to get the book. If I go to the chapter 3 of this book, Chisimdi titled it "Networking Your Way to Financial Freedom," and I like the title. I like the fact that he was able to draw the nexus between networking and finances, and how relationships are very key to your financial state as an individual. And we know the famous cliche, your network is your net worth. I think that's how they say it. And Chisimdi talked about how do you do it. He mentioned a few things in terms of how you can build network. He talked about partnerships, why partnerships is important. He talked about friendship, why friendship is important, and how in each of these relationships you have to build them. I always make the point that relationships are not a sprint; it's a marathon, and it's a lot of investment that goes into it. And for you to build relationship, okay, say I have 3 to 5 minutes, I have to round up. So for you to build relationships, you have to be sure, or for you to take from relationships, you have to be sure you've built into it. So I like that point, and it's something I want us to always remember. I always make the point, the Harvard grant study that tracked the lives of 268 men over 75 years actually made this point that building and having meaningful relationships is one criteria for good health, is one criteria for financial freedom. So it's very important, and it's important that you understand that financial wealth you're looking for has to be situated in the quality of people you have. And again, I repeat, you have to build that. The last chapter is around investing for financial freedom. And as the title entails, it's really around how to invest. Again, this book is not, it didn't sit on the high horse of, oh, you have to invest, investment is important. It then talks about how do you do it. Again, a very powerful point in reading through this book is the how, which it talks about. So there's a lot of talk around some investment channels that you could explore, the timing and why timing is important when it comes to investments. And it's a very important point in terms of timing. I have a senior friend who talked about how they were going to invest. This was 30 years ago, no, 25 years ago, 99, 2000, I think. It was Banana Island, and there was a piece of land. There was still opportunities there. And he told me how it got, again, the power of partnership. It got, there were about 6 of them. So they kind of built this terrace house, got money, plot of land, very cheap there. Nobody knew Banana Island was going to become what it has become now. But it was still expensive then, but not anything like this. I think he spent, if I remember the amount he told me then, it was somewhere in the range of 50-something million each person, because they pulled it together. They were able to beat down this price to each person paying that, about 20 of them. But long story short is this particular individual now is rented this house. I think GE, General Electric, used it to put some expatriates. I think the amount they paid him per year, he's been renting this apartment for about, I think it's 152 million for each year. So you have to calculate what that means. He did it for 4 years, and the house still is. But the point he was making to me was, in investment, timing is so important. I guess that's the point of the story I'm making. Timing is so important, and you have to get timing right. And you have to also be very careful of sometimes the very good, too good to be true investment opportunities that come your way, or people would dangle before you. So again, having the right risk and reward appetite is also something Chisimdi talked about in this chapter, which I thought was really, really important. And that's the 4 chapters. Like I said, easy to read 109 pages, and each of those pages or each of those chapters leaves you with something. So in closing, I would say that a very powerful strength of this book also is the fact that Chisimdi used a lot of personal experiences in sharing. And I always say that you cannot go wrong with personal experiences because they are your own. Nobody takes that away from you. So I like that point. I also love the fact that many of what he spoke about also was from credible sources. So you'll see him quoting the Bible. You'll see him quoting historical references. You will see him making so it almost cuts across in terms of sources. So the book is well researched. That's my point. It's very well researched, and it's not just another garbage that just shares what people think. So that's a lot of credit to the author. And I hope I've been able to at least give you a feel of what the book is about and why you should read it. And more importantly, not just read it, why you should pass it on to someone else. Because boy, we all can make do with some financial knowledge. So thank you, and back to you, Victor.
Wow, wow, wow. My mind is just like, and I've gone through the book, but there is this perspective, there is this deeper revelation that you get when you see another person talk about something you've gone through. Can we just celebrate him? Can we celebrate him, Mr. Celebrate him for this amazing review? Book review was one of the tasks that I was so much scared of back then in UNN when about 300 page and tell you to review it in 20 page, like, how? What are you cutting off? What are you joining? But the way he just did justice to this 109-page book, I appreciate you, sir. God bless you. And the way he brought it to life, looking at his profession as an HR. Some of you may think an HR, what do? They just sit back behind the offices, dictionary policies. But you could see that he's also living the talk. Nobody will see this kind of knowledge and want to keep it for themselves. Talking about investments, also see this as an opportunity to invest into the lives of these young ones. The people that these books will get out to. As you are supporting these projects, as you are getting involved in this, you are not just doing it for yourself. It's also an investment that will outlive you. Let's celebrate him once again with our virtual hands, with our virtual claps, please. Let's appreciate him for creating our time from his busy schedule to be here. I don't know what the time is at Qatar, but thank you, sir, for joining us from far east. All right, so at this juncture, we are also drawing the curtain close. Like I said, we don't intend to keep you longer than we had anticipated. We'll be welcoming the host once again. He has a project that he wants to talk about. And before we do that, I just want to let you know who we are talking about. We talked about him being the author of the book, but he's also an ardent financial advocate. He's a public speaker and a data analyst. He has his bachelor's degree from the University of Nigeria and currently enhancing his expertise through running his master's program is running in the Cardiff Metropolitan University and in data science. And he has been at the forefront of bringing financial literacy to the youth of Nigeria. You could see more of this on his LinkedIn account. And as a sales and data analyst, his keen his eyes for detail and analytical acumen enabled him to identify market trends, translates data-driven insights into actionable strategies. He is well versed in leveraging analytical tools like Python, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft Power BI to extract valuable business intelligence. I'm talking of no other person than the author, Chisimdi Okoh, that is here with us. He also forgot to add that he's the International Student Ambassador of Cardiff Metropolitan University. He says he's a shy person, like my Oga Chimes does not agree. I also do not agree. So over to you, sir, as he talks about the pet project of this. Thank you very much. Your audio is still muted. You may want to unmute your audio, sir.
Sorry, local man not have you on mute. Very much, Mr. Victor, and thank you guys for this wonderful opportunity to share my pet project. Anyone would actually ask the power of one. What is the power of one? The power of one is the ability to start from where you are with what you have, you know, towards attaining financial freedom. And financial freedom actually means a lot for different persons. So that's why most times whenever I'm talking, I ask people to always personalize their financial freedom. You have to define what financial freedom actually means to you because it means different things to different people. Because if you begin to compare your life with the life of others, you will not know when you will step into greed and when you will start overdoing things in attainment of financial freedom. So it's important to personalize the definition of what financial freedom means to you and what you intend to achieve. Be able to tell yourself that you are financially free. All right. So the power of one actually instills a culture of taking initiative, being hungry for success, and not limiting yourself to, to the circumstances around you or to your present condition, and engineering the spirit of starting from where you are towards attaining financial freedom. That is where you are supposed to, where you want to be. So it has always been my dreams, you know, to invest, most especially in young people, in investing, maybe expanding this knowledge of personal finance towards the next generation of young people because I've seen a lot of things going on in our society, most especially in Nigeria. A lot of young persons are not financially literate. They don't know how to manage their finances. The only thing that they know about finance is income generation. That's the only thing they know about finance, income generation and spending. And most of us actually spend to impress people, you know. And the age of social media creating an illusion of wealth has actually made a lot of young people engage in a lot of vices because their knowledge about wealth and wealth creation is centered on income. They want to make as much money as possible to impress those who don't even care about them. So that is why I intend to use this platform to share the message of personal finance to young people, especially in Nigeria, to see how we can start to catch them young, as many as we can. Because if we begin to set the right mindset in any one of them, we'll tend to change a whole lot of things about our country. You know, our country, most especially the government and leadership of our country, is known for wastefulness. We have seen it almost in all sector where leaders are just spending money the way they want, spending it on cars, building houses that they don't live in, and a whole lot of stuff which has actually rendered our collective coffers empty as possible, and we are all suffering for this today. So it is important that we inspire the next generation of young people who are financially literate. Of course, we say that young people are the leaders of tomorrow, yeah? So it's important we equip them with the right financial skills, with the right financial mindset, so that they will be responsible for their money. You know, growing up, I've um I've met a lot of young persons who for one reason or the other are actually building their hopes on their uncles or their brother or their sisters far away on other people's money to actually help them achieve their dreams. Nobody wants to be responsible for their dreams. Everybody wants to depend on this person or the other towards achieving your dreams. But I usually make me wonder why do you make plans on another person's money, not your money. You are making plans on another person's money or on another person's promises that you have not even received. You know, maybe probably because the person told you, relax, go and write down. I will foot your school fees, I'll pay your school fees. And then you are now relaxing, you're now writing down, you know, thinking that okay, the person is going to come through. But what if it's not within the person's means at that time to come through for you when you needed help? Because a lot of people passes through a lot without any of us knowing what they are actually going through on the back on the scene, you know, behind the scene. So what if something changes in future that might render that person's financial position or make it impossible for the person to actually help you towards the attainment of your dream? The power of one infuses a message that makes you become more responsible for your money. That is the message we intend to pass to young people. I live with my dad and I learned a lot of things from him. And one of the fundamental wisdom he instilled in each and every one of us God bless his memory, is that hunger is a teacher. So it's either it teaches you the bad or it teaches you the good. So if you find yourself on ground zero when you don't have anything, that the only thing you have is just a dream of becoming a successful person, a dream of becoming a business person, a dream of becoming a top management personnel in companies, a dream of leading parastatals, a dream of being politicians. But where you are, you don't have anything. It teaches that you have to allow the hunger within you to imbibe you with the requisite power to fuel you towards achieving your dream. So that is the concept of the power of one. And then we have infused this concept of the power of one and the power of one project. So this is not just a book for me. It is a book that gives me the opportunity to engage a lot of young persons in Nigeria and in West Africa. Already on my own, I started a personal finance club with a friend, a group of friends. We call it the S&P Finance Club. And we have been doing a whole lot of things, activities, webinars, and so on, towards educating the young people on on equipping them with the right mindset of wealth creation. Because a lot of us think that wealth creation is somewhat dependent on how much you earn. That is why a lot of people on a daily basis are chasing their life, pursuing money instead of pursuing excellence. So we're using the power of one project to engage young people because personal finance it involves both from the source of money to generate the money from the source, you being able to keep your money, growing your money, and then building a succession plan. So it's not just about you having a means of income and then you generating income from your means. It goes beyond generating income from a means, saving money and investing money. It is beyond that. It is even more focused on career development, developing the requisite skills and career that helps you earn money even in the first place. So our project is geared towards equipping young persons with the requisite skills, with the requisite knowledge towards attainment of financial freedom in its entirety. So that is what the Power of One project is. So we are starting this project by, first of all, giving knowledge because we believe that personal finance is 80% of behavior than knowledge. It's 80% of behavior than knowledge. A lot of our behavior towards our personal finances was shaped because of the environment that we found ourselves. Many of us has parents who are not financially literate. Many of us grew up in an environment that places more emphasis on money and values. So we are now using the book to engage young persons so that they will imbibe the right code of starting from where they are with what you have towards attaining financial freedom. So that's why we led a project that we want to distribute 1,000 copies of the Power of One book for free to young public secondary school children. We're starting with Enugu State, so that we engage them, we get them to get the right mindset of building the kind of money that is sustainable wealth. That is always the message that we are preaching everywhere and every time. So I am calling on all of you all over the world, my friends, my colleagues, my partners in progress, to join forces with me. Let's continue this journey of financial literacy campaign towards liberating sound young Nigerian minds, on the right and requisite knowledge of attaining financial freedom. And not the ones they are seeing on Instagram and social media and whatever platform they usually stream. That's not what money is all about. So that is my plea to all of you right now listening to me. This is beyond a book. If you are supporting this project, you're not supporting a book. You are supporting the project that is geared towards driving financial literacy campaign among young people in Nigeria. It is time for us to begin to do whatever we can to create financially literate generation. A generation that we can trust to lead us and manage our public finances, even when we are sleeping. That is a call. Once again, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate all your effort. I'll have to get back to the moderator of the event. Thank you to the Power of One.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that unveiling of the project. You know, it's very rare to see someone that will invest his mental energy into something as sophisticated as this and not want to do it because of profit. If you heard him correctly, the essence of this book launch is to serve as a means to be able to generate enough funds and to reach out to over 2,000 students with this book for free. So in other words, the money that is being generated from here will be channeled towards production of the book's hard copy to reach out to secondary school students. So I appreciate you for that kind gesture, doing this out of your benevolence, even after the whole mental energy and time that has been put into the production of and writing of this book. God bless you. Just while we are also speaking, a big person amongst us also came in. We welcome you, sir. Sir CEO, God bless you for joining us this afternoon. And amongst every other person that have been joining, so I see you. Your names are well recognized. Thank you very much. So we're coming to the end of this book launch. Like I say, we're not going to spend more than 2:30 p.m. here. So we just have 22 minutes to do this. So I'll be calling on Mr. Connell. Mr. Connell is another big shot that I've known over the years. He'll be giving us his speech. He's just a humble guy, but he's a great man, with what he does with his pen. Our number one fan. Thank you for always rooting for us all the way back. We appreciate it. So over to you, Mr. Connell.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. The first thing I like to say is, Chimex gave the keynotes, and I'm now beginning to wonder what exactly I'm supposed to say. Yeah, but it's a very wonderful opportunity we have here to celebrate our very own friend, Chisimdi, and then a very great invitation we also have here to be a part of this initiative. And I think that this is not something that any of us should pass by. And by way of encouraging us, because I understand I'm supposed to also talk about why we should be part of this initiative. It's not just know why it's important to be part of this initiative. And typically, the way I would do it is to just tell us a story, a very short story. One of the best movies I've seen in my entire life is Amazing Grace, the story of William Wilberforce, right? And if you've seen that movie, and I highly recommend it, Amazing Grace is the name. And you would see what it took the young man Wilberforce, to make it possible for the slave trade to be no more in the entire British Empire. But the high point of that movie for me, was when the British Parliament passed the law eventually after everything that happened. I mean, the movie is about everything that happened, which is why you should see it. But when the law was eventually passed, that's the law of the abolition of slavery, one of the MPs, members of parliament, stood up to give a vote of thanks. And I still remember that vote of thanks almost every day. He said, whenever we talk about success, whenever we talk about victory, we remember people like Napoleon, who come back in pomp for having defeated this country or that country, or having won this army or the other one. And people will clap for them and clap for them and clap for them. But the problem with that kind of victory is that at the end of the day, they will need to go back to war to fight yet another army, because it just never ends. And today we know, what happened to Napoleon, what happened to Caesar, what happened to those conquerors, so to speak. And he turned to William Wilberforce and said that today, people like William Wilberforce will go back home to their wife and to their children, to his wife and to his children, lie down on his bed and happily know that slave trade or slavery is no more. Now, how does that apply here? If you look at this meeting, we're about 36 of us at the moment, and we are here to celebrate our friend. At the end of the day, we might just buy a copy of the book, either when it's printed or on Amazon or something, and that could just be it. But one step we can take further is how we can imagine a young man somewhere, either in secondary school, beginning of university, who has learned all the wrong things on Instagram, on Facebook, on how to spend money. And when you go around, you see how sorry, like how much in a sorry state our young people are right now. You would not know these people. You may never meet them. But the truth is that the contribution you make today, or whatever you bring on the table today, that will enable Chisimdi to be able to raise as much as the 2,000, a little less than it, or more than that number, to go out and reach out to these people. You can be sure that just somehow, somebody somewhere who will be touched by that move will be that one thing that true success would, depend on. So as we go on, our drive for success, our hustle, trying to make out something for ourselves and all that, I think whenever we have an opportunity like this to reach out to people we would never meet, people would almost never get to know, we should remember that in the final analysis, that is so much success than what we eventually end up having in our bank accounts, what we eventually come up to parties and we are spraying on people who already have money. That is already more important than some of those shows we make in order to prove that we have arrived. So, and in that way, when we talk about bettering society, when we talk about, creating a change in society, very little things like this, like donating 10 books, 50 books, 100 books, 200 books, and even 500 books can really go a long way. So I thought I should lend my voice to Chisimdi in promoting this initiative beyond the book itself. And like Sam said, it is that one book that if you read, it will transform your life. And why I know this for a fact is that my company actually published the book. And I know the quality, I know the pains that Chisimdi, took to ensuring that his personal stories and experiences, the memory of his father, and all he has gathered in the course of his gamble as to arriving at a formula for financial freedom, the pains he took to capture all of them in that book in a simple language, like Sam said, in a very practical outlook. So I think if you succeed in getting a copy of the book into the hand of a young man, a young woman, somewhere that you will never know, that might just be the difference that it can make in changing the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Connell. Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting anything less than that. He's a deep thinker. He's a philosopher. He's someone that each time he talks or writes, he will engage your mental faculty. And I think it's that he's also he's an author. Yes, he's an author. He has written a lot of articles, but then he has a book published to his name. So it's a pleasure to have you here all the way from United Kingdom. God bless you for joining us despite your busy schedule. Be that as it may, we are gradually coming to the end of the session. It is also important to note that this book is available on Amazon. It is available on Amazon, so you can make your order if you want to. And the link will be dropped into the group in the comments. In case you do want to make an Amazon purchase, you are not within the country or you are outside Nigeria, wherever you are, you can always make your order. And it's important to note that why we are doing this is to let us know that the aim, I was talking with Chisimdi earlier on, and he was saying that the aim, his heart's desire is for this, his satisfaction in writing this book, that it gets across to the hands of these young ones. So please Can someone help me share the link in the group, the Amazon link? So I would like to make the floor open now. We are gradually coming to the end. I believe there may be someone might need to add one or two commentaries, suggestions, or whatever you want to do, or whatever I want to say. We are not here to raise funds. No. He doesn't want us to raise funds. He wants us to be partners. It's a different mindset and perspective when we understand the power of what we want to do, partnership in doing this. So it's not, we're not here to raise fund of, okay, 1,000, 2,000 going. No, it's about getting this book to the hands of these young students. So if you have anything to say, like if you look into the message or the inbox section, you see his personal account, Wema Bank personal account. You can reach out to him, send it. Donations have already started coming in, but before that, I'd just like to hear if anybody has anything to say, any commentary, any suggestion, any question that you may want to ask, any clarification you are seeking. I think you can just do that in the next few minutes as we round off. It is our desire that by 2:30 we are done from here. So we just have 30 minutes to call it a wrap this afternoon. Does anyone? I'm trying to see if anyone has any question. Just signify by raising your virtual hand so that the floor will be made open to you. Is at this juncture that we should be more interactive, right? A lot has been said, a lot of virtue has been shared, values have been dished out by Oga Chimex that opened the floor over then to Mr. Sam Okonkwo that was here, and also to Mr. Cornell, our number one fan. So I don't know if there's anyone that has anything to say while we wait. Remember, like I said, if you go through the WhatsApp, okay, I'm sharing the Amazon link. The Amazon link for the book is shared on the page now. So on the, okay, I think Gloria has shared it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you share, please, Gloria. Okay, we're sharing the account number and the page. So please look at it this way, just like Mr. Connell said. It's beyond, even if you feel like, oh, you don't understood all that it is about personal financial management. There are these young ones that don't know. It will shock you to get insight of the perspective that these young students have about finance. Some of them believe in no kite, some of them believe in egombute, some of them believe in outrageous ways of making money. That fundamental and basic principle of saving, compound interest, has been lost. So that does not mean that others do. It will shock you. So your book can go a long way. All right, sir. We have a Mike Abo who has a question. Please, you can ask your question, Mr. Mike Abo. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you very much.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. We can hear you.
Okay. It's been a wonderful time section. It's very informative, very full of insight, deep knowledge.
Sorry, you may want to increase your voice is low, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's much clearer. It's much audible.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
I really want to commend my friend, my ally. Okay. I want to commend my friend and my ally, Chisimdi, who fought so many battles right from our youthful days. At the then, I also want to commend you for your time and all of us that have been here. Chimex is a friend and a brother. Thanks to everybody here. I want to ask a question. And one of such questions is this. In reality, how can people manage finances when they don't have the finance? How can people manage what they don't have? You know, if I was reading an article yesterday, they said school, 20 million Nigerians are out of school, and now we are the poverty headquarter. We've overthrown India. So how can you manage what you don't have as a wealth? You don't have the wealth. Managing is one thing. Having the wealth before you even think of managing. I'm definitely going to get this book because I trust the capacity and the high IQ of my friend. He's a sharp guy. I'll get this book and also partner with him after now. So how do we manage what we don't have or what people don't have? Thank you.
Wow, that's a very good question. Thank you very much, Mike Abu, for that. How do people manage what they do not have? How do people manage what they do not have? So I don't know if there's anyone that wants to answer that.
I'm here, actually.
Yes.
Okay, it's
all right.
best.
Okay. Actually, can everyone hear me? For me, before you talk about managing money, I believe that there are 3 M's of money. You make money, you manage money, then you multiply money. So if you don't make money, you cannot manage money. So the first step for someone who doesn't have money to manage is to find something to make money. And when I was speaking, I was saying that it is what you have that God will use to bless you. So that skill that you have, make money out of it. It might not necessarily be somebody giving you capital. One of the problems we have is a lot of people want to get capital before they can do anything. Each and every one of us have a unique skill that makes us different. So you use that skill you have and see what you can make from it. Then whatever you now make from it, you now manage it to be able to now multiply it. So there are 3 M's of money: making money, managing money, and multiplying it. So someone who does not have money does not have issue with managing money. The most fundamental thing for that person is to go and make money. Thank you.
Thank you
So,
very much.
so
Chisimdi.
when you are ground zero, because I'm like assuming that the person that asked the question is referring to someone at ground zero. You're at a point where you don't have money, you don't have source of income. Okay, of course, yeah. But when you're at ground zero, one of the most important things to do is a personal reassessment. You need to assess your personal finance profile. You know, assess your personal finance profile. That critical assessment will help you understand whether what you have is an income problem or a spending problem. Well, in this case, it is clearly stated that what the person has is an income problem. So, how do you overcome an income problem? Of course, you could actually get a skill. Okay, but what if you cannot get a skill? Of course, that person might possess a basic skill that you can offer to earn money, that is earned income. No matter how small you have to earn. If you're opportune to read my book, for instance, if you get the book and you read my book, at some point in my life after graduating and being a youth service, I started a job that I was being paid 20,000 naira per month. And I was on that job for 11 months. Well, guess what? That job was one of the most transformative steps I've ever taken in my life, in my journey to finance, because it changed everything. It changed my mindset towards money. And it gave me opportunity to link up with options, build the right network, and made me to start earning more money even while on the job. So that is a very important step to take at this point, is to critically analyze yourself. Whenever I talk about personal finance profile, people think I'm talking about network. It is not network. It is also reassessing yourself, what you have in your hands, where you are, that can earn you income. All right? Thank you very much.
I don't think sorry, I don't think there's anyone that has any other thing to say. I may just want to lend a voice to that too. I personally believe that we all have something to offer that can give us money in return, right? That is my personal opinion. And if we can be able to do that, upscale it, then we should start from somewhere. Someone that was born into a rich family, of course, has a higher leverage to start with. That he has a better financial vehicle. We know we have different financial vehicles to run with. So what I believe is at that point where you are, start with it, even if it is 10 naira that you can be earning. There are so many stories to back up this. Even if it's 10 naira, save the 10 naira. The universe has a way of bringing opportunities to someone that has the money to do what? To invest in something. Jesus, while he was trying to feed the 5,000, not until Andrew said, but there is a boy that has 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. That was something to work with. At that point, it was nothing. It was insignificant, infinitesimal compared to the number of persons that need to be fed, right? But once it was brought up, then the universe worked out in miracles that made it. So it will shock you that some of these secondary school boys that we are looking at to reach out to, they have one or two things they do. They enter into the market, and they hustle on a daily basis. Some of them save money. At least I know for one, someone that stays with my parents, he schools at GTC, Government Technical College. So he treks back home. One day I was just discussing with him, how was he able to buy this gadget? He told me that he saved. I said, save, what do you do? So he treks back home, like the money they gave him for transport, he treks back home. That is, to me, that is as basic as it is, right? When opportunity comes in, he jumps onto it. So and I know that all hands are not equal, but of course we still have hands, but those that are not equal. So start with the one you have and then go with it. Then, okay, Chukwu Kadibia, you may just have 30 seconds to 1 minute to call it a wrap, please. We're coming to the end of this amazing session. Chukwu Kadibia, over to you. So while Chukwu Kadibia is getting ready, it is important to know that donations are already coming in. We have Amalachukwu Onyenwe, who has also donated to this cause with a sum of 20,000. We appreciate you. We also have our brother Chukwu Emmanuel, who has also donated to this cause. He has 50,000 now. Okay, I just got a go-ahead order. Okay, please, the host should enable Chukwu Kadibia to speak, please. I just got a go-ahead order from the host that we can extend our meeting. We can go beyond 2:30 since the engagement is really heating up, and this is the essence of the meeting. So please, the host should enable Chukwu Kadibia to make his own contribution. And we also have Choma Okwene that also contributed 10,000 naira. God bless you. We have Zita Ofieli that contributed 5,000 naira. We have Reverend Chikamsu Aniago that has pledged a sum of 50,000 naira. God bless you, sir. We have Favor Ugochukwu that has also pledged a sum of 250,000 naira. That's amazing. God bless you. We have Honorable Ogrejo Naji that has contributed 30,000 naira. God bless you. We have Onwe Bunam Chukwudi that has also paid in a sum of 10,000 naira. God bless you. Please, the host should enable Chukwu Kadibia to speak. Then also we have Paul Ewo that has donated also 20,000 naira. God bless you. The idea of this project is that we want to have these secondary school students from various secondary schools in the states within the Enugu metropolis gather together, teach them about personal finance, teach them about financial literacy, and also empower them. It's all going to be amazing. It's all going to be engaging. It's all going to be reacting. So I would like Chukwu Kadibia, has your audio been enabled? Please, can you give me a feedback? Has your audio been enabled? If not, just let me know so that the host can let you make your contribution. Then any other question that we do have, please. I've gotten a directive from the host to extend since we are getting more. Someone sent a personal DM. Okay, fine. You can send a personal DM if you don't want to ask your question in the page, on the public page. All right, so the question goes like, good afternoon, sir. Thank you all for the amazing session we've had today, and to the speaker and also to the author. So my question is, in a case whereby you are living below your means, but the more you are saving, the inflation rate seems to be making a mess of your saving discipline. What do you do? Should you continue saving or not? Did you hear that question? The person is asking in respect to the economy that we have in the country, where saving is as if the more you are saving, the more the inflation rate is making a joke of your saving. What do you do? So I'm throwing the question open. If anybody has any question, nobody is an island of knowledge. So if anybody has a question, answer to that question, please feel free to make your contributions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Oyembo, and I want to talk about this last question. I oftentimes advise young people in Nigeria to learn how to save their money in foreign currencies, no matter how little. Yes. I've been a strong advocate of this for quite a long time now. Basically, some of the money I have, I don't save it in Nigerian bank. The person can just download their Binance and buy a USDT. Just keep buying USDT. Whatever happens to the economy of Nigeria definitely might just be to your own advantage. To be honest with you, I really understand how that person feels. It is so mad that somebody saved 1 million naira in August last year, only for that 1 million to buy maybe less than 500,000 naira worth of value as of today. It doesn't make any sense. But if that 1 million naira was saved, maybe in USDT, by now the person might be smiling at the bank to have a 1 million naira withdrawal value that can buy maybe 3 million naira worth of value. That could have been the reality of that person today. So I am a strong advocate of saving in foreign currencies while you make money in Nigeria. No matter how little, just buy dollar, buy any kind of coin you want to invest in. Just buy it for savings sake. You might not necessarily know how to trade coin. It might not necessarily be a trader, but just buy and keep. You might not just know what will happen. I strongly recommend a stable coin like USDT. That's the truth.
Okay, thank you very much, Onye. I appreciate, but I just want to ask a moral or an ethical question. If we all save in the foreign currency, of what effect does it now have on our local currency, the naira? If everybody
thank you very much for that.
Into the
thank you very much for that moral. Sorry, thank you very much for that moral question you asked. But how would you now advise a young man who struggled to make 1 million naira in August last year, and that 1 million naira can only buy 400,000 naira worth of value today? How do you morally advise that young man? Just be honest with yourself and advise the young man. I want to hear you do that.
Well, hello.
Yes, continue, Mr. Mike. Continue.
It's a terrible, pathetic, and very sad situation that we've really found ourselves. Very sad one. And if you look at, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but if you look at the situation of Nigeria, the hope is dimming by the day. The hope, the Bible says hope delayed makes the heart sick. Our hearts are sick right now. So, like my brother rightly said, what moral advice are you going to give that person? No, first of all, you must survive first. So if securing a foreign account will help you sustain your income, it's not a crime. You are not committing any blunder, or you are not sabotaging anybody's economy. Neither are you part of our criminal alliance. So you are doing something lawful, legal, within the confines of the law. So I don't think it's a problem at all. I don't think it's a problem. Like yesterday, I was discussing with some of my friends, my senior comrades in UNN, and you can imagine now school fees, what we paid as PG is 100% has been increased. So you could see, men and brethren, that in the next few years, education is going to be something no longer affordable for the rich. And I hope our society and our governance, I hope they'll be able to deal with that situation. I paid 92,000 naira when I came in for my master's, but now it's 150,000 naira. So if the basic cannot be afforded, then there is a problem. There is a big, big problem. There is a big, big problem. But the hope is actually there.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mike. Thank you very much for.
Can I drop something?
All right, sir. Mr. Juba Abba Jr., it's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Good afternoon. You can make your input.
Yeah, good afternoon. Oh, sorry, I joined late. I had something else going on. I've been listening to the conversations, and they are all very enlightening and all educative points we are making. But I just wanted to touch on what the guy advised about the digital currency saving and then saving in dollars. One, I think part of the economic crisis we are facing in Nigeria is because of the quest for young, not just young people, for everybody, politicians, businessmen, everybody is looking for dollar. So that is part of what keeps making the dollar to shoot up. That is, by the way, anyways. Then secondly, for the context of this conversation, I think, and as much as I know what digital currency is, especially the USDT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and co, they are decentralized currencies. So for the, like I said, just for the context of this conversation, maybe outside this conversation, you may advise someone to save in USDT and in BTC and in Ethereum. But then for this conversation, it will be worthwhile to advise somebody to go and seek currencies that are decentralized, because at the end of the day, if anything goes wrong, so you can be, it's like when you are running from a lion and then you jam, or from a crocodile and then you jam a lion. They are all decentralized currencies. And as much as I know, once in a while I get this digital currency, but I know it is as risky as doing any other thing risky, because one day it can decide to stop existing. And then there is no single person you are going to hold accountable for them. I know we all believe that it will keep on going, to be there for to be there forever. But then something that is attached to no financial institution, it is not, nobody is supposed to be held accountable for what, that's reckless. It's as reckless as investing in Ponzi schemes. But then, of course, a lot of people have made money from, I personally made money from it at some point in life. Then back to the conversation of what now happens to someone who saves. You go through all the pains, because saving itself is pain, it's discipline. You go through all the pains of trying to save money, and then at the end of the day, your money is worth almost half of what it was worth a couple of months or a year back. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, sorry. But then I think my advice for people like that, which I am I'm one of those who need that advice too, is now money where you get, you could talk about the value. Now, if you don't have 500,000, you won't be talking about the value of 500,000. So the first thing first, most of the problems in the country currently are not problems that are within our immediate control. I know what Chisimdi tried to do. I read the book. I know what he tried to do in the book is to give us knowledge on how to control the finances that are within our immediate control. What happens to inflation, blah, 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 and the rest of them are not within our immediate control. So I think what we should be, maybe on a later date, or maybe on another release, maybe he can go into a broader view of the finances that are beyond our own immediate individual controls. But for now, everybody should be advised to save. Save your money. If it loses value by 50%, at least you have something that lost value by 50%. And there are some people that made over 100 million naira last year. Today they don't have 1,000 naira. Some people made 500K last year. They don't have 1,000 naira today. But there are some people that made about that same price, that same amount, and then today they have like 500K in their account, sitting in their account. So you, maybe by today it would have lost value compared to what it was last year, by this time last year, but at least you have it. Like you said earlier, you talked about the man who brought the five loaves of bread and 2 fish, which was where Jesus stood to multiply. So you need to have somewhere to even, what if the economy does not go bad? What if Naira does not keep falling? So the first is for us to learn the discipline of saving. For the context of this conversation, I may not go into the other, but saving in dollar, because like I said, it's part of our problem and the rest. But then first of all, save. If the money lose value, at least you get the money. Nobody who get money, they talk about value of money. If you don't have money, you just be hearing it in the news. Now, dollar fall, dollar go up. You get people who don't get the dollar. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Sir Joe Abba Jr. Thank you very much for that input. Just as we are still, the conversation is ongoing, more donations are coming in, and we appreciate everyone. We see your good works at Baka for sending in 50,000 naira to this. This money is, like I said, it's going to touch a lot of lives, young people in Nigeria as a whole. God bless you. We appreciate Ebujo Esther too, who also supported with 100,000 naira. God bless you. So please, we just want to keep on encouraging us. The conversation is now getting lit, and I'm really excited. And so there's this Nigeria, we suffer and smile a lot. There's a statement that goes like this: you save today and your saving saves you tomorrow. So at least have something that will save you tomorrow when all those things are happening. There's this book I read many years ago, The Richest Man in Babylon. You can't beat this principle of saving. You can't beat. I love what Sir Joe Abbas said. We are talking about what is within your control. First, talk about what is within your control. Forget about the inflation. They are real. We are not ignoring it. We are not living in delusion, but we're talking about that which is within your control. What do you do with it? And just as we are rounding off this afternoon, Chukwu Kadibia, please.
Yeah,
Your
I'm here.
contribution. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Chisimdi, congratulations. And then to all the speakers, I learned a lot from your contributions. Okay, I just want to answer the guy that talked about how do we get these finances. Sometimes, like my opinion on this is we look outside a lot in life. We look outside a lot in life. And when we talk about gifts and talents, most times people look at it as a church thing. Look at it as a church thing. They see it so religious and all that. But if you go to dictionary, you discover that gift and talent have a synonym called endowment. And in investment, endowment means like capital set aside to get income for an institution. So it tells you that if endowment is the synonym of gift or talent in the dictionary, it tells you that God gave man natural capital when he was born. So sometimes if you look at America, Britain, you see Britain got talent, America. So when you talk about making money, the first thing to look at is the thing you can control yourself. Talent, gift, this is our basic capital. That's why there are so many creative skills in America. Why? That is what they rely on the basic level. So to make money, we don't talk about this finance thing without talking about endowment. So our natural endowment is our gift and talent. And until we go back to them, there will still be many poor people. And for us to get them to have economic value, we must invest in our personal education, which is what Chisimdi is talking about. And apart from that education, also personal practice. Because without practice, the education cannot be trusted to be paid for. So that's why it's a capital, but nobody will give you money if they cannot see the economic value. And the value comes from education and practice. So that's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Sir Chukwu Kadibia, for that contribution. It's really appreciated. And just like we are drawing to the close of this amazing session, I want to first of all appreciate our host. I want to thank him for all that he has been doing, for the knowledge that he has, the research and the energy and the time, the energy, the brilliance that have gone into this book. Going through this book, it's an eye-opener. This is a book that you should buy for your children unborn. This is a book you should buy for your kids, your nephews, your nieces, everyone that is young, secondary, and in the university. They should have a copy of this book. This is an international bestseller, in my own opinion, because it's not because we know him and we think that it's not my guy. It's not. This from is a world-class brain. This is from a world-class brain, an international student ambassador of Cardiff Metropolitan University. He's a humble guy. He doesn't like to talk too much about himself. There is this documentary that they are currently doing now. He will still tell us more about it when it comes out. But to tell you that it is born, because of this same book, the book is already doing amazing things. And just as we are speaking, you guys are just giving me that vibe, and I really appreciate every one of you. Anonymous, I don't know why the person chose to be anonymous, sent in 100,000 naira. Anonymous sent in 100,000. Like I said, we are not doing donation or fundraising. No, it is about you understanding the importance of what we are doing and wanting to be part of it. So we appreciate the person that sent in this 100,000, this anonymous, that wants us to keep him anon. But please, we'd like to still know you, to be able to appreciate you, because one of the things about I know about Chisimdi, was telling me about that earlier this morning about P2B, when he was the money he donated for his campaign, about 800 million, and then over 500 million he generated. And the principle of accountability to those partners, we also want to practice that accountability for every expenses being made. we want to join, because you're a partner, you need to be informed as a stakeholder. Some will be physically involved, some is their time, some what they need is information to be updated with what we're doing. So I appreciate you all. I appreciate it. So just keep it coming. We have a lot. 2,000 students, it's a lot. You can imagine if one book is 5,000 naira multiplied by 2,000 students, that's over 10 million, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But we believe that with as one, we can be able to achieve this power of one. So I'll be looking for the last question, just the last question or the last suggestion. I don't know if my boss may want to say something. Sir CEO, who has been here, thank you for being here with us from beginning. I don't know if you have one or two things to say, sir.
Okay, just to, yeah, I'm sure you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, congratulations, Chisimdi. It's indeed a great work and commendable, and one that I'm sure that will be very helpful to us and to the younger generation, Gen Zs, and indeed anyone that is financially prospective in terms of caring for your financial stability and a greater future. So congratulations, and it's sure going to be a great read for all of us. So find time to go through the work personally, and you'll be happy you truly invested the time. That's the much I can say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Sir CEO is one of our he one of those that wrote a forward for the book. We'll hear more from him on the conference day where we'll be meeting and interacting with these younger students. Let me also give you an insight to what we want to do. We want to also give out scholarship to some of these indigent students, public secondary school students. We want to give out scholarship to some of them. We want to play a financial game, a financial debate, and even a financial essay that they will write. So we reward them with financial items. And take, for instance, like the Monopoly game, which helps to build the interest about principle of savings. Monopoly, the game of Monopoly, most of us must have heard about it from Robert Kiyosaki. So we have a package that we are coming for, and this thing is free. It is out of your donation, it's out of your support, it is out of your partnership that we're able to achieve this. It is not profit oriented. For him to have put in a lot of money into production of books and still want to print more, to share it free to all, it says a lot. So please, I would just like to make this announcement that the day of the event is on 23rd March. Yes, you're also all invited. For those of us here in Nigeria, in Enugu, within Southeast, you're also invited. That this book we are talking about, these 2,000 free books, will be shared on the 23rd March at Oaklands Hotel, which is the day for the event where we will gather these secondary school students during the main edition of the Power of One conference. It's going to be massive. It's going to be big. We have lined up financial speakers that will be there. That will be able to let us know more about what we are doing and impact these young ones. And please, if you also want to join part of the volunteer group, please, the volunteer group is open. You can reach out to me. How would you do that now? Or you can reach out to Chisimdi. Then let me just put my contact on the message box. If you are within Enugu and you want to be part of the volunteer group, there are a lot of things we want to do, a lot of movements we are making in mobilizing these students. We intend to, my name is Victor, okay, 3757, yes. So we tend to reach out to them. We tend to mobilize them, transportation to and fro. That is money, take them from, thank you very much for sending that. So that would be from their secondary schools to the Oaklands. Please reach out to me. We can put you up in the group and we can work together as one to achieve the Power of One conference. I would just like to end with this as we are drawing close. Please, if you know someone that is interested. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry that I joined late. Is the book for just young ones or for everyone? Can someone buy the book and get to a specific location? Yes, the book is for everyone. Personal financial management is for everybody, but it was done in a way that anybody can read it and understand it. As long as you're alive, you need personal financial management skills too. So it can be, you can get the book within and outside Nigeria. If you are within Nigeria, we can always get you a copy across to you once It's all in hard copy. If you're outside Nigeria, you can order from Amazon. So yes, Obinna, I hope that answers your question. You can get the book at any location in Nigeria. Just let us know how many copies you want, and then it will be fretted to you. All right, so thank you very much. In the absence of no other question or no other suggestion, I would like to call on I don't know if Sep here. Is Oga Sep here? I think he's trying to talk, but we can't hear you. Oga Sep, are you here?
Me?
Oga Sep, is that you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
It's a
And good
pleasure
afternoon.
It's a pleasure to have you here, despite your work schedule. Thank you for joining us. Okay, just before you would give the vote of thanks, and then also say one or two things about the S&P Finance Club. I just wanted to prep you so that you just know you handle the vote of thanks at the S&P Finance Club. I just want to appreciate for the last time everyone that joined us on this call. God bless you, and for all that has been making donations, and for all that have been making donations, God bless you too. Okay. Wow. I just got in another donation now. Anonymous. Anon. You guys are just, is it done by Anon? You guys are making me, feel like, overwhelmed and flabbergasted. Thank you very much for Anon that sent in 250,000 naira. This goes as far as telling you the kind of person Chisimdi is. I'm telling you the truth. This is not even his wedding. And this goes as far as telling the kind of person Chisimdi is. He's someone of character. He's someone of integrity. And I can promise you that it is never a wasted investment. But before I call in Mr. Sir, please, Mr. Dozie, are you here, please? To just say briefly, I heard you have something to say to us briefly, Mr. Dozie. Please, are you here? You can just, signify if Mr. Dozie is here. I can see Dozie. Yes, I can see you. Mr. Dozie, are you ready? So thank you very much for the let's keep them coming in. All right, over to you, Mr. Dozie.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say a very big thank you to the organizers with Chisimdi championing the cause. It's a very noble gesture. I want to keep encouraging you all and us all because as it stands now, we're partnering with you. And I pray that the energy that we've started off with would continue with it. We shouldn't get weary in the course of it. There might be obstacles, there might be constraints along the line, but let's keep the hope alive, having the end in mind that would achieve all we plan to achieve. Once again, congratulations to us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for keeping it short and simple. I appreciate you, Mr. Dozie. Thank you for airing your own view and also supporting, by making that suggestion. Thank you very much for the partnership for everyone. Thank you very much, sir, once again. We appreciate it. We don't take it for granted. So please, lastly, over to Maoga, Mr. Sep, that left us in Nigeria and went to UK, but then it's all for good. He's another financial amazing guy. He was with the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I'm proud of him. So I always talk about him and the amazing thing he's doing when he was in Lagos Nigerian Stock Exchange before he traveled on Chevening scholarship to UK. And I told him that one day I want to see him at New York, at Wall Street, doing amazing things with his financial prediction. So over to you, Mr. Seth. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, James. And I'm delighted to be here to actually making it, even though I came in quite late. I was telling Chisimdi that not even being one of anchors of this event go down as something that is highly unusual. Because I know how my journey started in finance and financial literacy and how Chisimdi and I have collaborated. Unfortunately, time, and other commitments. But I said not having my voice being on record during this launch, it's something that will be an abomination. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, even if it's just for a minute. Personally delighted for this project, about this project. Personal finance, we will send it from childhood, even though many of us didn't even know what it meant. Was and it still is all about saving you, from the way you save, from the way you spend, from the way you borrow money from your friend. You want to meet Chukwuka, you want to meet Abajo, you want to meet anybody and to ask money, from debt to everything, and we think it may not really mean much until we find ourselves in a situation where we're going through economic crisis based off of from our financial decisions. So these things are really important. And if we could go through the tough times as children with little or no knowledge about financial literacy, they wouldn't want other people to go through the same process. And I think that's one of the motivations behind Chisimdi's work, putting out this book out there. Yes, it's going to be useful even for people of age 18, 70, but targeting kids in junior, secondary, and senior secondary, and even primary school is something that I call, I don't know, but this is beyond community work, And again, resources are needed to do some of these things. Even in the Bible, Jesus went out to do a couple of things. He needed funds, he needed resources to do certain things. Feeding 5,000 people wasn't from anywhere. He needed something. Joe was talking about you having something before you can start complaining whether it's valuing or devaluing or appreciating. So the fact that resources are needed to continue with this evangelism, and the fact that there are people like all of you here willing to contribute your hard-earned resources towards this cause is unbelievable. So on behalf of Chisimdi, on behalf of the S&P Finance Club, on behalf of everybody that loves financial literacy, that has gone through financial crisis, on behalf of children that will benefit from your generosity, I want to say thank you very much for your contributions and participating in today's session. We hope that the contributions won't stop coming, after today's meeting. And even while I'm talking now, I know Idris might be receiving some more cash after the meeting as well, as little as you can, to contribute to help better the life of one child out there in Nigeria. It will go a long way. So thank you very much, and we look forward to more fruitful engagements like this.
It's 3 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Sasep Smart, the financial guru. We appreciate you for that vote of thanks. And thank you everyone for coming. I just want to read out the list of donations so far, and we close with a word of prayer from Adeze. Mrs. Adeze, Chim, I hope you are ready for the closing prayer, please. Okay, the donation so far, Amalachuku Onion were 20,000. We appreciate you. Chukwu Emmanuel 50,000. Choma Okwene 10,000. Zita Ofieli 5,000. Reverend Chikamso Aniago 50,000. Favor Ugochukwu 250,000. Pledge. Honorable Ogweji of Unaji 30,000 naira pledge. Onwebuna Chukwu the 10,000 naira paid. Paul Enwon 20,000 naira paid. Baka 50,000 naira paid. Anonymous 100,000 naira paid. Divine Ibekwe 5,000 naira. Anonymous 250,000 naira. God bless you for all. Keep your donations coming in. No amount is too small. No amount is too big. No amount is too mid at the middle for us to achieve our goal. We appreciate you once again. And please, Mrs. Adeze Chime, can you hand us to a word of prayer? Can you round off with a word of prayer? Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Without much talk, let's just pray. In Jesus' name, amen. I hope you cannot hear me. Amen. And everlasting Father, we thank you. We give you all the glory. We thank you for the success of this call. We thank you for all those that were in attendance. We thank you for all that was heard and said. We return all the praise and glory to you in the name of Jesus. Lord, we thank you for the program that is coming up by next month. Lord, we know, yes, Lord, that it's going to be a success. And we know that the lives of all the students, everyone that will be in attendance will be blessed, richly blessed in the name of Jesus. We thank you also for the life of Chisimdi. We thank you for all that you're going to do through him, by him, and with him. Lord, we give you all the glory. Bless even everyone that has donated for this cause. They will never run dry in the name of Jesus. And for people that will still